and we're going to get started. Let's see, hold on. You know, I'm super tech savvy. Y'all know that, right? Okay, can you see this? Mackenzie, I can see your face. Can you see where it says welcome to FutureBoards? Yay! Okay, let's get ready. So, you guys, what we're going to do is we're going to start creating and building your dream life. Who is excited about that? I mean, is there anybody that doesn't want their dream life? Okay, so here's the first thing. Some of you are driving. Some of you have your notepads with you. And so I'm going to ask you some questions, and it's going to help us discover, are you a dreamer or are you a thinker? And some people are super duper lucky to be both. Because for dreamers, and all of you, if you're not a dreamer, you know a dreamer, those people, it's easy for them to come up with dreams like, I want to do this, I want to go there, I want to have that, I'm going to earn this, and they can dream all kinds of things, and then it's super hard to execute it because they're so up in their dreamland. But then when it comes time to like writing it all down and doing the things that they need to actually do to make their dreams come true, they get super overwhelmed. Can anybody relate to that? My girl Marquet, that's my girl Marquet. We know it. And then there's the thinkers. Oh, Debbie, you raised your hand. Hold on. Debbie, unmute yourself. Because then I got to stop sharing to see what you wanted to
know. No, you're fine. No, I was raising my hand. I'm that person.
Oh, sorry. You're that person. Okay. Yes. I was like, just tell me what you got to tell me, because then I got to stop sharing and all
sorry.
That. Okay.
No, I don't want to. No, we won't do that.
Okay. so then there's the thinkers. My husband is a thinker. If you give him, in any company he's worked in, if they bring in some big grand idea and like, hey, can we do this? He's like, because they brought him the idea, right? This is what they want to do in the company. Can we do this? Then he goes, okay. And he writes everything out. He's the Excel sheet guru, gets it all done, and then check, check, check until it's done. But he's not coming up with some crazy grand idea. He just isn't. Take him a grand idea and he will make it happen for you. So there's the thinkers, and they are amazing also. So I'm going to ask you some questions. Don't write down the questions, just write down yes or no. And then we're going to tally up, okay? Woo. First, here's some questions to tell if you're a dreamer. Do you often daydream? Were you a daydreamer as a child? Do you consider yourself artistic? And like I said, just give yourself a little check mark for all the yeses. Do you see things in your mind in a vivid or visual way, almost like a movie in your head? Are you a risk taker? Oh, hold on. I got people trying to come in the room. Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. Okay. Does buying a lottery ticket give you secret excitement, a twinge of hope, or even just an excuse to daydream about what you would do with all that money? Have you had a difficult time finding the right career path or finding your passion because so many things interest you? Does it excite you to try new things or visit new places? Do you often think that there must be more to life? Do you get excited about new big ideas? Did you always feel deep down that you were meant for something more? Okay, so if you answered yes to most of those things, you're probably a dreamer. All right, so, and again, some people are both. I am both, which is super awesome. Some people are not, but knowing what you are will help us on this journey, because we'll know kind of different issues you might have based on the things that I'm asking you to do. So that's why it's important to figure out if you're a dreamer or a thinker. All right, Here's your tally marks to find out if you're a thinker. Do you like to make a plan before taking action? Do you thrive on structure? Do you tend to vet all possible outcomes before making a risky move or most decisions? Like, are you writing a pro and con list to everything? Are you, generally speaking, pretty organized? Do you tend to research and then research some more? Have you stayed in the same career for several years? Do you only make goals you know can be accomplished? Do you have a hard time getting excited or taking action on something that is outside your comfort zone? Do you think buying a lottery ticket is a waste of money? Do you believe, or do people in your life who dream big scare you a bit or make you anxious? Do you tend to make lists, spreadsheets, and plans? Is your schedule fairly predictable? Does trying new things and going new places scare or give you anxiety? Does failure scare you? Are you budget conscious? All right. Anybody willing to unmute and tell us where they fall? Mackenzie, you're laughing. What do you got?
I am definitely a thinker. I only answered 3 times no to those questions. And then dreamer, I only got 4 yeses. So
You're a thinker. So
Mhm.
some of this is going to be really tough for you,
yeah.
right? But that's okay. Who else? Who else is willing to share what they are? Mark.
Probably.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Brian, what'd you say?
I said I'm probably 80% dreamer, 20% thinker.
Okay. That's good. I say good. It just will make this process easier for you. But this process will also be good for you because we're going to have some tangible steps to help you actually realize your dreams instead of keep coming up with new dreams that you're chasing. All right, Marquet.
So my dreamer is 100% yeses, all of them. And my thinker is half yeses, half nos.
Okay.
I have a little bit of thinker in there, but most of it's all dreamer, which is why I drive Kinsey crazy, I think.
Yep. Well, you guys balance each other out. For people that don't know, Mackenzie and Marquet on this call are sisters. All right. Who else wants to share? Erin, you want to tell us?
I'm very much a lot of both.
Okay. That's good. You're both. That makes it awesome. Anybody else want to share? Okay. So here's the good things and the bad things for our dreamers. The dreamers really can see the big picture, no problem. They have lots of great ideas. They get excited quickly. They see the possibility in everything. And they know they have greater potential than they're using. Right? That is Marquet. That is Brian Lavender. I've had chats with him. That's he knows. You guys know there's more out for you, and you're just kind of coming up with dreams until you hit the jackpot. Am I right? Okay. So here's the negative. Your excitement can die out as quickly as it came. You easily get overwhelmed. Making a plan that you stick to seems almost impossible. You don't love doing the work that actually makes your dreams come true. Yeah, Marquet. Why would I stick to my planner and my to-do list? It's too much. It's too overwhelming. Am I right? It's too overwhelming. You got dreams to chase. You get a bad rap for not finishing what you start. And that typically comes from those closest to us. Am I right? The people that are closest to us, like, they get a little nervous when we have a new dream because we didn't hit the last dream we had. And so they can also be like our dampers on us. They're like our wet towels. And then can be a little ADD about your dreams. Right? Okay, so let's talk about our thinkers. Our thinkers, the positive, they think things through. They understand how to make a plan. They understand that action and planning are needed to get things done. And they're able to execute on a plan even when it's not exciting. So the other day, Marquet was feeling a little overwhelmed with some stuff she had going on. And you guys, Mackenzie was like, do you want me to come over? And it was just in her voice, like, let me come over and fix all this for you. I'll get all the stuff done. And Marquet's like, no. The thinkers, like, it's just their natural instinct. Am I right? To like, okay, come on, I'm going to get it all done for you. Or me, I'm just going to make a list. But here's the negative. They have a super hard time seeing the big picture when there's no evidence visible. They don't like spending time imagining things that don't exist or seem possible. They over Google. They look up everything. They get stuck in their head overthinking. They get super hung up on the budget. And they can sometimes only see what's in front of them. So as you can see, it doesn't matter what you are. There's good and bad to everything. And we're going to work with what you have. Any questions or thoughts about dreamers or thinkers so far?
I think it's accurate when you're talking about how the excitement leaves as quickly as it comes, because that's been me on a lot of things, is that as soon as like I hit like a snafu on anything, it feels like the dream died.
Yeah. So, what you'll find throughout this workshop is that's pretty normal. And that's why creating a future board that is 100% tuned into you will help that not happen and help you have the patience for your dreams, to wait on your dreams and goals to come, right? Instead of kind of having, call it shiny quarter syndrome. Like, oh, that didn't work. Look, here's another quarter. Oh, let me pick that up and try that. Oh, what? That didn't do what I wanted it to. Oh, look, here's one over here, right? And so,
Right.
and that's okay. Sometimes what your first goal is leads you to what your ultimate goal is. And as long as you're taking action, you're working towards something and it'll get you there. What we don't want is you not fulfilling anything because, again, like you, in your words, I hit a snafu. That didn't work out just the way I thought it would, so that must not be the right one. Okay? So here is a little activity for you. I want you guys to, we're going to just spend a few minutes writing your before story. Here's why it's super important to write your before story. Has anybody on this call, and I know the answer is everybody, ever worked to lose weight or get healthier or accomplish a fitness goal? Everyone on this call has.
Yes.
Right? So what would have happened if you didn't take your picture, your measurements, and your weight before you started?
You have no point of reference.
You have no point of reference. And anybody who has lost a lot of weight knows that it takes their mind way longer to catch up to what their success has been than their actual body. People that have lost a lot of weight typically suffer for quite a while from still feeling overweight. In their mind, even though their genes are smaller, in their mind, they still feel like that bigger person. They have trouble seeing themselves. And then you make a side-by-side photo and they look at themselves and they're like, holy crap, look how far I have come. That's the goal of writing down your before story, because it's a natural tendency to make slow progress and then feel like you haven't made any progress at all because there hasn't been a huge leap. But when you look back at where you started, that's when you go, holy crap, that was me. That's where I was. I regularly, semi-regularly with my team will say, like, look, this is where you were in your business last year, because they may have like a down month. they're like, ah, I'm not doing any good. I'm not blah, 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 blah. Is this even working? Why should I do this? And then I go, look where you were last year at this month. And it's like, holy crap. Like Marquet has grown her business over 3,000% since from her March 2020 to March 2021. And at the same time, the beginning of March, she was kind of feeling like, am I doing this right? Is anything going right? I'm not signing enough people or whatever. And whatever your business is, if you're not looking like where you've come in 3 months, 6 months, a year, you're gonna miss your huge growths. So here are things I want you to think about when you're writing your before story. Where do you work? Do you like it? Do you actually like where you work? You know, where do you live? Do you like your home? Who lives with you? I'm missing a question mark on that bullet point. I'm sorry for my OCD friends, just saw it. What do you do currently to recharge or de-stress? And how do you feel mentally? Okay, so really just taking real inventory of where you are right now. And if you don't get a ton of this done right now, I'm recording it, so I'll send you the recording so you can dig a little deeper if we move too fast on some things. But just do me a favor right now and jot down kind of where are you in your life right now. And now give a little thought to what do you wish you could change about your life right now? What's the main thing not working in your life right now? You know, this could be your health. This could be your finances. This could be your friendships, family relationships. You know, really, what do you feel like? What stresses you out is a better question. Like, what's stressing you out right now? And that's really probably what's not working, the main thing that's not working in your life right now. And then what people are in your life right now? What's your financial situation like? And what would you change about it? And how do you physically look and feel? And do you want to change anything about how you look and feel? And something that we're going to work on, we're going to talk through, but I want to point out here so that you're not afraid to write it down. It is 100% okay to be grateful for what you have and still want something different. Okay, hear me loud and clear on that. I don't care where you go to church or what religion you are. It is in the Bible. It's totally okay and good to be grateful for what you have and still want more. People on my team, Lord of mercy, if they've heard this once, they've heard it a million times. But if you woke up today and you are still breathing, it is because God has more for you to do. If you had already reached and done and been with everybody that needed to occur in your life, you wouldn't have woken up today. So it is okay to be grateful for where you are right now and what you have, and still know and believe that God has more planned for you. Okay? Any questions on this? Anything anybody wants to say or share or feel or do? Okay. Now's the fun part for our dreamers. Not so fun for our thinkers. Okay? What's your dream future life? I'm talking the entire big picture of the dream life you want to create. If your life was perfect in every area, what would that look like? Okay, again, my dreamers, they know exactly what their dream life looks like. And my thinkers are like, pump the brakes. Is that even possible? I can't afford my dream life. What are people going to think of me if I'm living this magnificent, fantastic life? Are they still going to want to be my friends? Oh, they're going to think I'm a snob. I don't care. It's your life. It's not theirs. We don't really care what they think. That's hard for some of you to hear. If I've coached you, you've heard it a million times. We don't care what they think. Because A, they're not paying your bills. They're not writing in your journal. They're not doing the things, okay? So, why?
Hey, Kristy,
Yes.
can I pop in on that real quick?
Yes, please.
So I used to really, that was always hard for me. Like even when we build our house, it's not gigantic, but it's taller than everybody else's house on our street. And so naturally everybody's like, oh, your house is so big. Why is your house so big? I'm like, it's the same square footage as yours. It's just taller than yours. Like it's literally the same size. And I was very, very self-conscious about that. And about like even wanting to dream bigger and have like a second home and stuff. And it actually took my brother-in-law being a jack-faced butthole. Sorry about my language. And saying some really horrible things about me and my pyramid scheme and all of this crap for me to kind of just say, you know what, screw it. I don't care what you think. I don't care what anybody thinks. If you want to come over and swim in our pool someday, then you're going to have to apologize. And then you can come over and swim in my amazing pool that I designed. But it's so funny how it took like such a negative emotion from someone I really care about for me to say, too bad. Like, I'm okay now. So anyway, I don't care what y'all think.
I don't care what you think. I don't care. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else have any thoughts?
I just wanted to share that it is possible for thinkers to get into this. Because Kristy, I didn't coach with you very long, but you got me thinking about this, and it's been on my mind since. And so it's like, this is now possible for me to start dreaming, even though I'm not naturally a dreamer. And so it's really hard to get into the dream mindset, but now I'm like starting to like manifest and think about things that can be, where normally, like when we started, I was like, I'm good.
I'm good.
Maybe a bigger house, but I'm good.
Yeah, they're really, you couldn't at first come up with anything else that you wanted. I'm good.
Yeah.
All's good. Okay. Anything is possible, which is remarkable in this program. So let's talk about why your dream is so important. Your dream is tied to your happiness. It provides clarity of where you're going, and more importantly, why you're going there. It creates a desire, right? Clarity creates a desire. When you're clear on your dream, then you know what you want and why you're working there. And it also fuels your hustle and creates relentless pursuit, which is the action that ensures your dreams will manifest. In essence, the dream gives you a destination. Sorry, I'm closing the door on my barking dog. And that's the thing. If you don't know where you're headed or why you're headed there, you kind of don't go anywhere. Can anybody like look back and be like, oh, yeah, I'm kind of the same place I was last year, and I'm not super happy about that? If so, it's probably because you didn't have a dream that was clear and why it was clear. So, here's what I don't want you to do. We're going to start dreaming, y'all. It's almost time to start dreaming. Not yet, but almost. Don't get hung up on these questions right now. We're going to talk about your career and ambitions. Don't ask yourself, what job should I get? Where should I go work? Don't do that yet. That's not what we're doing here. Don't ask yourself how you can make more money, because it's not about that either. You would be amazed at what people have manifested without spending any money. One of my pictures on my board is me standing on the front of a yacht with some girlfriends. Guess what? I got to do that, and it didn't cost me anything except for being nice to some friends. Okay? Don't get caught up on what's your passion, because as we go through this process, it's going to rise to the surface. And don't ask, like, how do I get the relationship I want? Basically, what I want you to do is not ask any specific questions while you're dreaming. We're just going to write some dreams. We're just fixing to start dreaming, y'all. And I don't care, and I don't want you to care right now how we're going to do that. Okay? So here are the areas. This is another reason FutureBoards is different than a vision board, because we're going to have 5 categories. Okay? We're going to talk about your passions and joys. We're going to talk about your dream career, your dream financial situation, your dream mind and body. We're going to talk about all of those things, because those are all important to happiness. I mean, I know people that have a crap ton of money and their health is awful and they're unhappy. They don't have true happiness because of all of the health issues that they're going through, right? The same lady has a crap ton of money, and I'll be honest, her relationship with her, not spouse, but partner, they've engaged forever, they're not happy. They fight all the time, and there's so much jealousy. We want to be happy in all areas, do we not? Because think of a wheel, think of a bicycle wheel. If there's a big dent in the bicycle wheel, how well are you riding? That's going to be a crap bike ride, if I'm being honest, because part of your wheel is busted out. Think of these 5 things as your will, and we want them all to be good. We want them all to be happy. All right, can we talk about some myths? And can we talk about how when you're truly happy, these myths go away? And part of it is because, like Marquet said, like Marquet was like doing her thing, and she was succeeding at her thing, and she was feeling pretty darn happy. So when her brother-in-law had crap to say, guess what? It didn't stick to her because she was happy. Because what he said, that was just his opinion. It wasn't her truth. She got to decide whether to own that as her truth or not. It's the same as myths. And a lot of these myths are things that you've probably heard from your family or growing up, or even in fairy tales. You know, in all Disney fairy tales, who's the bad guy? The rich guy that lives in the castle, right? Like the super rich guy may end up saving the day and being nice at the end, but he spends an hour and a half being a jerk that everybody hates in town, right? Because you know what? The myth is rich people aren't happy. And I think that's a myth, because most people who aren't rich think rich people work so much that there's no way they could be happy. Am I right? There's no way they can have a great relationship with their family because they must work all the time to have that much money. Okay, that's a myth. Another myth, to get what you want, you have to sacrifice everything. A myth. How about this one? I've heard this from every single person I've coached ever in the last 2 years. Living an abundant, wealthy life makes you a bad person. Somebody somewhere read in the Bible, I read it too, like you got to sacrifice everything to go to heaven. Well, guess what? If you look up abundance or prosperity in your Bible glossary, there are more scriptures about how the prosperous can help others in the world than how it's good to be broke. Okay? You will see really rich people in the media doing crap things. Why don't you do a little Google search on some of the charitable giving really rich people do? And you might see that living an abundant life doesn't make you a bad person. Bad people are bad people. I know a lot of broke people who are bad people. I know a lot of rich people that are really good people. It's not about how much money's in their bank account. It's about who they are at their core. And once you can accept that it's okay to be wealthy and be a great, amazing, Christ-like person, that will open up so much in your heart. Okay? Here's the other thing. There's a myth that when you make it, you'll be alone and happy, like you're going to be on top of the mountain all by yourself. Only if you step on everybody on the way to the top of the mountain. And here's the thing, you won't stay there for very long. That's a myth. And when you're successful, you won't have time for family or do the things you love. What we're working on here in this workshop is creating a well-rounded life where you're doing the things you love and where you have what you need and want to do more of what you love with the people you love. Who's on board for that? You guys ready for that? Yay. Okay. Let happiness, can you write this down? Let happiness become your checklist. Let happiness become your checklist for making decisions, for filtering opportunities, for allowing or not allowing people into your life, for ensuring that you stay true to yourself, and for keeping you aligned with your core values. Does this align with what makes me happy? Ask yourself that when things come up. I often say, if you're saying yes to something, you're saying no to something else. Where are my people pleasers in the crowd? How many times do you say yes when people ask you to do something, and the next day when you actually have to do it, you are so pissed off because you have other things to do and you don't feel like doing it and you don't benefit at all from doing it? Now, I'm not saying don't go serve other people. I'm not saying don't take a casserole when your girlfriend doesn't feel good. That's not what I'm saying. But if you are a people pleaser, it's on your forehead. Guess who friends call when they need a babysitter? Guess who friends call when they need help with an errand or picking up their kids? It's you. And how often do you say yes because you're trying to be super kind, but then that means you have spent 2 hours helping somebody else and doing nothing towards reaching your goals that would one day allow you maybe to do more for somebody else? You can't take care of everybody else and still get your crap done. Am I right? My people pleasers, they want people to be happy with them. And sometimes, oftentimes that's at the expense of making themselves happy. Also, my people pleasers, I'm not saying don't go help people. All of us on this call have the heart of a servant. Any of us on here would do anything for other people. I'm not saying don't be that person. I'm just saying if you have things you need to do and you can't do them because you're doing other stuff for people that they could probably do for themselves, the only person losing is you. You might actually be empowering them by making them do the stuff themselves. Crazy thought. Crazy thought. People are capable of doing amazing things if you let them. And then there's times when you do really need to step in and help and your crap might not get done that day. That's okay. but don't say yes to everything, because it often means saying no to what's important to you. So when you get asked to do something, think like, is this going to make me happy? Is this going to align with my core values? All right. So let's talk about your new life. You wouldn't be on this call if you weren't reaching and wanting something new and awesome. Am I right? So here's some things I want you to think about. What do you want in your new life? What type of person do you want to be? Where will you go to work each day? And not the job, not the real job. What's the vibe like? Do you work from home? Do you have a really cool home office? I will tell you, my favorite thing, I'm going to stop sharing for a second, because my favorite thing about moving to Knoxville is my office. It's my dream office. It almost matches exactly the one that's on my future board. Guess what wouldn't have fit into my 1,200 square foot apartment on the beach? This place. I love being in here. I love doing my stuff from in. It was on my future board. I could show you the picture. I'm going to show you the picture. Hold on. While you're writing about what you want your future life to be like, because I'm going to be redoing my future board, I'm going to go ahead and show you what was on my future board. If I can do it. Hold on. You guys, this is your opportunity to write your future life. I'm going to go back. I'm going to pop, while I'm tearing this off, let me pop those questions back up so you can start looking at them, okay? Jot some notes. I'm over here tearing up my future board. Probably should have thought about this before the call, but I didn't. Okay, I hope you guys have written down some good things. Let me show you. Can you guys all see my office? You see my built-ins? What I didn't imagine was having to move my son's classroom back into my office. I thought he'd work great from his own bedroom. Turns out he doesn't do anything when he's in his own bedroom. Can you see what was on my future board for 2 years? Okay. It's this. It's this. You can't see my rug, but you can see my turquoise chair. Only thing I don't have is a couch facing my desk, and that's because I have beautiful windows, and I got this kid who, if you're on my team, see him on the regular doing class, okay? This is what a future board can do. This is what I wanted for my work. I didn't want to go to an office. I didn't want a cool cubicle with pictures of my kids up with like thumbtacks. I wanted this. So I put it on my future board. Turns out I found this random house in Knoxville that I didn't even know had this office, because the pictures online were awful. Who remembers me knowing I had to move here, telling you how horrible this house looked online, and I would cry not wanting to move here? And look what was here. Okay, I envisioned it for a long time, and that's the power of future boards and knowing what I wanted. Does anybody have anything to share or any thoughts about your new life, or people who I have coached in the past who have kind of thought of a new life and that has come to fruition, or just anybody want to share anything? Mark, hey, get your tongue out of your mouth and share something. You look like you're dipping over there. I know you got something to say.
No, I actually bit my lip right there like 7 times yesterday, so I was cold.
Way to harass her for her pain, Kristy.
Lord of mercy. That's
No,
what I do.
I always have something to say.
And you always have something to say. And
I do.
anybody who doesn't know Marquet, she's the best because she calls me on myself. She knows this program inside and out because I coached her. And whenever I am not following it the way I know better to, she calls me out. Everybody needs a friend like Marquet. You
It's
want to
really
share anything?
fun. You should try it.
Are you
No,
gonna share anything?
Yeah, I was just what's it been? A year and a half since I did this last, I think, and
Yeah.
maybe a year. Yeah, like what has changed so much, but there are like core things that have remained the same. And little things have manifested, like being less stressed. That was a big one for me. And being able to be in the sunshine more. And so I arranged my office with like my sunshiny window. But it's funny because I was looking at my future board the other day. I'm like, I mean, this stuff would be cool, but it's not like really what I want. I mean, there are still swimming with sharks. That's still there. There is still a housekeeper and someone to do my lawn. Those will always remain. But and then travel. And so it's just the things that as I'm writing, I'm like, oh, this is like still my same, but those are core to me.
Mhm.
I don't want to waste my time scrubbing my bathtub because it sucks and mowing my lawn. And I just want to be on a perma vacation.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was hard. Just so you guys know, she says that with such casualness. She didn't start out like this. She didn't start believing she was worthy of all of those types of things. It was a process.
Oh,
She didn't come to me being like, I want a housekeeper and maybe a bigger house, even though everybody thinks I have too big of a house and a swimming pool and I want to travel all the time. That's not who came. It's not who showed up. Okay. So, and Marquet, if I really wanted to embarrass you, I could probably pull your folder out of back there and talk about some real changes. We don't have time for that.
Yeah, probably. Nobody has enough tissues for that.
No, it's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, here's the next thing. You guys are going to do some writing, okay? Here is what, hold on. The power of what if. I'm certain you guys have all heard about the power of what if before. You guys probably say what if on the regular. Here are some what ifs that I hear pretty often. What if I fail? What if no one comes to my event? What if I don't make enough money? What if people judge me and think, judge me for this career that I've chosen? What if? My point being, most people use what ifs in the negative. You come up with a thought and then you immediately, or those closest to you, start throwing those what ifs at you. They're never good. They're never good. And it's not because they don't love you. They're doing it because they protect you. You're doing it because you're trying to protect yourself, but you're sabotaging yourself. You truly are self-sabotaging yourself because your mind is the most powerful thing ever. And so what if you changed your what ifs to manifest your new life? What if? What if you did succeed? What if you did take this new business and blow it out of the water and became able to travel wherever you wanted? What if you built your dream home in your dream location and 10 years from now, all of your kids and grandkids fit in it? What if you got to travel to every place you wanted to go? What if you succeeded beyond your wildest imaginations? So I want you to spend a minute busting out of the box. Your negative what ifs come from a subconscious level that are keeping you in a box that somebody created for you long before you knew a box existed. Your circumstances in life and those people closest to you have created a box for you that they're comfortable with. Hear me again, that they are comfortable with. Those people that are closest to you might be uncomfortable if all of a sudden you start making a crap ton more money than they do. Suddenly you're not fitting in the box that's comfortable for them. They think you're going to change because you have more money. Guess what? You're not. You're a good person. You're going to become gooder. That's not a word. Don't go telling people you're going to become gooder. You know what I mean. All right? Because you can do more. So write down some what ifs and give yourself permission without any judgment to dream what if. Don't allow your brain to filter out what is possible. There's so many great things possible for you because right now I give you permission to get out of the freaking box. Get out of the box. Get out of the box that your brother-in-law is comfortable with. All right. I had to get out of the box that my mother was comfortable with. Turns out my mom, we'll go more into this when we're talking about money, super uncomfortable with rich people. Super uncomfortable. She created that box for me that let me know to be loved, I needed to be broke. Turns out my husband doesn't do well with broke. So whose box was I going to be in? I'm going to be in my own box. Think for a second. I want you guys to think for a second. What's your favorite reality show to watch? Is it a hunting fishing show? Is it a home makeover show? Is it Keeping Up with the Kardashians? What's your favorite? This light is killing me. Oh, but you can't see me, can you? Only I can see that I'm in this big shadow. I got distracted. What's your favorite? Somebody unmute and tell me your favorite reality show. Don't be ashamed. We all got them.
Audrey likes TV.
Yeah.
HGTV, is that what you said?
Yeah. Anything that has to do with remodeling. I love it.
Okay. Let me ask you this, Audrey. When they are working on a huge home and they are like creating the most insanely beautiful kitchen you've ever seen, tell me what your mind does.
She pictures out how to figure out how to ask me how to do it.
Okay, and then what happens?
I start getting ideas about, I start ideas about our own. We just recently did our dining area because we have a very small house. Our first floor is a small house. So the kitchen, the dining room that we had was not like, the way that they made it was not right, or they just didn't have the right kind of seating. So we worked on it and I got inspired and we redid it. And now it's my dream kitchen as far as the dining area to sit in. I don't know if that answers your question, but
no, that's good. That's good. I'm going to dig a little deeper. Okay.
okay.
So you made absolutely work within what you had, right? You guys figured it out. You made Brian go to the store and buy the crap and you built it yourself. I followed it Yes, Brian, I followed it on Facebook. I saw it. It looks amazing. But what happens when you're looking at a dream home that's, let's say, 4 times bigger, the home that you live in, and you look at that kitchen? What thoughts pop in your mind?
Overwhelming.
I don't want to clean that.
I can't afford it.
Yeah,
I could
can't
never.
afford it.
Do you think, does a money situation pop into your head where you're like, that looks really amazing, but we couldn't have that?
Oh yeah.
So I'm not
Yeah,
even
definitely.
gonna, go there.
I mean, I don't mind, and I'll still watch it because I still like to get ideas, like what can I take from that, I guess.
Yeah, so you're taking the idea from it and converting it into the super small version.
Yes.
Okay, what if you didn't? What if when you watched it and it looked amazing, you just went, I'm gonna have something just like that one day.
I don't think I've ever thought.
And then stopped. I'm going to have something just like that one day. And then shut up. And you let that dream breathe. You look a little uncomfortable right now. Brian is like he's got termites inside of him. Like, how the hell am I supposed to pay for that dream kitchen Kristy's telling her to dream up right now? Like, what does that feel like?
It just feels out of reach.
It feels like being on a roller coaster.
Is that because you would dream you want it, but then you wouldn't have it, and so then you get frustrated? What's the roller coaster mean to you?
The roller coaster means, like, I know that it's possible, but it's like you put up a roller coaster, you know that this thing is structurally sound, it's been tested, it's safe, and you know that there's an end to it, but you're going up that big hill and you're like, okay, now here comes the actual leaping off, the leap of faith part that you're getting ready to drop. And even though in your, subconsciously, you know that you're on metal wheels and you're safe, your mind's like, oh, we're getting ready to die. We're getting ready to lose, and that fleeting stomach feeling, and
Well, I would say if you went out and bought this mega mansion with her dream kitchen, with where you are today, you'd be fixing to die because you're going to be hungry as hell and you can't keep your lights on. Okay. That's where your head went. I'm saying just live with the dream, not worrying about when it's going to happen or how it's going to happen, and not being unhappy on the way to it. What I'm saying is, let Audrey dream up her dream home without feeling like you're letting her down by not earning enough right now to build it. What does that feel like?
it feels like I haven't given her what she's wanted yet.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like we're in that experience right now because I got my dream dining room the way that I wanted it, like the seating and then the accent wall. So I feel like I'm there especially with the happiness of it. And I don't know, like, I know that we have a lot to still do, but I'm happy right now with that part.
With that part, which is amazing. What I'm trying to point out is that you can be so happy with that and dream up what it's going to look like in 10 years without being upset or worried about where you are today.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You can, Nikki just put in the chat, but you can be extremely happy and want more. And I talked about that before, like, be so grateful and happy with what you have, but it's okay to dream of what you want down the road. It might not be until it's like your guys' retirement home. You're in the middle of little kids and building businesses and being young. I mean, you're 10 years behind me. So, it's not a comparison of like being unhappy with what you have. But if you can't dream, my point is, if you can't allow yourself to dream what you want, you won't get that.
See, my dream is kind of different. My dream is more just, it's in a weird word, freedom. Like, I don't care if I'm super rich, but having the freedom of choice to, do what I want to do if I want to, do it. I don't care about all the money. I don't want like all these luxury cars and stuff like that. That has no appeal to me. Just being secure, in what we have.
You absolutely don't need luxury cars. That doesn't mean that you're rich. Some of the richest people drive crap cars. It's not about the car. The freedom you're talking about only comes if you have enough abundance in the bank.
Yeah.
Okay. So saying I don't need all that money, I don't need all that stuff, that's a lie. You can't have the freedom to travel, the freedom to take off whenever your kids need anything, the freedom to start a new adventure if you don't already have enough built up. Does that make sense? And when you say, I don't need all that stuff, guess what? You don't get all that stuff. You're blocking yourself. I know are you guys fixing to grab your kids?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're at your brother's house.
Oh, tell my family I said, hey. All right. I'm going to, does anybody else have thoughts? I'm going to let them grab their kids. Sounds like my kid's coming in.
I was thinking the other day, our friend Tiffany, she was talking about her making people feel uncomfortable for seeming like she has it all together, for her like getting in shape and be able to run that half marathon and everything. And she just kept saying, I don't want people to feel uncomfortable. And I think that's stupid because if you don't feel uncomfortable, if you're feeling comfortable about everything, you don't have anywhere to grow. But if you feel uncomfortable, then that is going to encourage you to make change, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't tell that to her because I didn't really think about it until this moment. But I'm going to make sure Tiffany knows that's dumb. And she should make all the people feel uncomfortable about her being in super good shape so we can be motivated to become like Tiffany, be like Tiff.
100%. And that's the thing. I often find, I'm so glad you said that, because I often find people that are really successful in a specific area tend to minimize it because they don't want to make other people uncomfortable. What I try to share with those people who are successful in those areas, please tell me all of your tips so that I can do what you've done. Please. Because if I'm not there, it's because I don't know how to do it. Or I'm not comfortable making the choices, or I think the choices will be too difficult to make. And so I don't even try. But for my friends that are very financially secure and sound and have that type of financial freedom to do what they want or go where they want or serve like they want, I look at that and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Can you help me with that? Because that scares me. Like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know if I can do that. Can you tell me what you've done to get there to help me do that? Right? Because I didn't come from that type of place. I came from a very broke household, financially broke, mentally broke, all the brokes. I came from all the brokes. But for people who are really great at that, I want their help. Okay? I want to know what they've done to get there. And if you are minimizing what you've done to get there, nobody has accidentally have a crap ton of money saved in the bank. That's not an accident. They didn't just, unless they inherited it all, they didn't just work real hard. And I've made a crap ton of money. I'm super proud of the $7,000 I have in my 401k. That'll last me half a month if Rob dies. Like, come on. But I have a best friend who's probably made the same amount of money over her lifetime, who's got a crap ton of money in the bank. I need to know how to do that. It's so easy to be like, stop shopping, Kristy. All right, well, it's not that easy. If it was as easy as stop shopping, Kristy would be super rich because Kristy's husband makes a lot of money. It's not that simple, I promise. But it's doable. I have been doing it and working the system over the last year and a half. Any other thoughts? I don't even know where we came off from. Oh, because we're writing your what ifs. All right, we're writing your what ifs of what's possible in your life. So here is something else you're going to do. You're not going to finish this now, but you are going to work on it until it's done. Work on it this weekend, work on it tomorrow. I want you to write your live list. I want you to write down 25 things that are once in a lifetime experiences that you couldn't just have right now. Like for my dear friend that has plenty of money that's hiding herself on this call, this doesn't count as something you have the money for and you're just choosing not to do it. This is something you actually couldn't possibly do right now or in the next 6 months. Okay. I want you to imagine that I've given you $5 million to spend. There's no time limit on how long it takes you to spend it, but you don't get to go buy a Lamborghini, much to my dismay. Everybody on my team knows I want that Lamborghini Urus. I'll get it one day, not to symbolize I'm rich, but because I super want the Lamborghini Urus SUV. This isn't to pay off the house. This isn't this is like a rent a super yacht and take your best friends on it. Once in a lifetime experience. You're not buying the super yacht. You're just gonna rent it and take your friends on it. This is
Remember, I'm one of your best friends.
yes. You want to go on the super yacht with me?
Yeah, never forget that.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. How could I? Would you let me? Just kidding. Not kidding. Kidding, not kidding. Yes, you'll go with me. Things like going on an African safari and hanging out with giraffes while you eat your breakfast. Like once in a lifetime, like you don't buy a giraffe and put it in your backyard like Celeste Quinn, okay? You're just gonna go on an African safari and take a picture of the giraffe, all right? Experiences, like not like take your kids, pack them up. They've been to Disney World. Take them to Euro Disney. Where is it? Paris? Like, and take them shopping. You can buy some things on your experience. I'm not saying you can't buy crap. Like go to all the crap stores and buy stuff if that's what makes your experience happy. That would make me super happy. That wouldn't be fun for my husband. He doesn't like to buy all the crap, okay? Because shopping's not his thing. Does that make sense? Like your live list. These are things, some people call it a bucket list. We like live list because it's things you're going to do while you're still alive. Okay? These are things you want to do, things you want to experience, places you want to go while you're still alive. Like, I want to take a cruise on a super yacht with my best friends in the Mediterranean. I don't get to buy the island I was born on. I just get to visit it. All right, so you guys are going to work on this, but are you thinking about some things right now? Has anybody jotted down some things that they want to do? Anybody willing to share? No.
So far, I have dive with tiger sharks in the Bahamas. Sharks are always at the top of my list, guys. I don't know why. It's kind of weird. And then take my family to the Nintendo World in Tokyo.
That's a thing?
Yeah, show Andrew you're gonna die. Maybe we should plan a family friend. Yeah, it's amazing.
Okay.
And it's you say you don't buy anything, own a beach house. Like that's just gonna be on there.
Okay.
That's what I have so far. But they're all
Is the live list buying the beach house?
The live list is actually going to be on her future board. It's not going to be on her live list, but here's what can be on your live list: family experiences at your beach house 4 times a year.
Yep.
The kids
I do
come
have
in.
that. I have traveled to the beach quarterly.
Okay, so those are experiences. What are you going to do in your beach house? What kind of experiences will you have? Right?
I haven't got that far. We'll get going.
That's okay. That's good. Anybody else have any thoughts they want to share?
Mine is Disney cruise with all my kids and grands.
Okay. All
Not anytime in the next year or two because it won't be with masks on, but
could you guys do that in the near future if it weren't for COVID?
no, not in the near future. No.
Okay. So that's on there. That's perfect. All right. Next
Kristy?
thing. Yes.
I had one too.
You what? Tell me.
I have one too. I want to go and see the Egyptian pyramids and what is the, oh God, I had it in my head now. I'm sorry, but it's over in
You're
that
okay.
area.
No, that's awesome. I love that. How cool would that be? Who are you going to take with you, Nikki?
Well, my husband, but he won't go, so probably my sister.
Okay. This is how we dig into our live list. So you're going to take your sister. How are you going to get there?
We would fly.
How would you fly? You have
First
5 million.
class. We're gonna go first class.
Or could you rent a private plane?
Or yeah, we could do that.
What I like to tell people when they're working on that live list is Kardashian size that dream.
Okay.
Okay. Kardashian size that dream. Kardashians, whether you love them or hate them, there's a lot of things they get to do that I would like to do. Right?
Right.
Okay. I don't want to wear my underwear and bra and take Instagram pictures all day, but I sure would like to have a private plane that I could jet off to wherever to go pick up a new purse in Paris because it just got released. I don't think that's ever going to happen. That's not actually on my live list, but that's just an example. As you're writing out in detail of your live list, like write it out. What is it going to look like? What's it going to feel like? Who's going to be there? What are you going to wear? Right? Like you're going to Egypt. What do you wear in Egypt? What do you look like? Is the sand flying everywhere? So is your hair up in a bun and you're in one of those, like, got to have long sleeves on? Because I don't know. But if it's your dream, I want you to dig into such detail of it that there's almost a movie playing in your head. So it's not just, I'm going to go to Egypt and visit the, whatever it is, we can't remember. It is my sister and I, this is what we're doing. This is what we're going to eat on the plane. This is where we're going to stay when we're there. Like dig deep into it. Okay. Talking to all y'all. And so the goal is to write 25 things on your live list. I want you to dig super deep into 1 or 2 of them. Okay. That's what I want you to do. When we're looking at your dream life and we're working on your live list and what's possible for you, here are the things to consider. Money's no object. Just stop that thought right there. I know all of you right then are like, but no, we're dreaming. Money is no object in your dream world. You're more successful than you've ever dreamed of being. You're blissfully happy. You're surrounded by amazing friends and family. You live in your dream home, in your dream location. You're in a happy, fulfilling, and loving relationship. You work your dream job, or you don't need to work at all. You're physically fit, healthy, and feeling amazing. And you vacation and spend time doing what you love. All right, so want you guys to work on that. Now we're going to talk about something that most people have a trouble with, and that is having a broke mindset. Some people call it a scarcity mindset. Some call it a limited belief. Here are the things. You have this if you have thoughts like this. Money's the root of all evil. Rich people are bad. More money, more problems. If I have lots of money, I'll lose friends or family. People only want you for your money. Can't go to heaven if I'm rich. Okay. Here's what it looks like. Holding on to money too tight. Stockpiling money. A fear of spending. Or imagine this. It can look the exact opposite. Spending too much or too quickly. Not learning from past mistakes. Not being smart with money. Is there anybody on this call that has not felt at least one of these thoughts that we're talking about? I'm going to share something personal because you guys all know being Rob Barkley loves when I share personal things. He's on this, not on this call, and he'll never watch the recording. Worst case, he's sitting outside my door spying on me. There's a better chance he's drinking a beer on the back patio. So I'm going to tell you this story. All right. He, as you guys know, we moved here. You know, I can't even, you guys know why we're here. You know what's happening. You know, it's all a work in process. And he's kind of gone into a place of fear. Like, is this going to work out? We're running out of money. Like, our savings is dwindling. And what if this doesn't work out? Then what happens? All very reasonable thoughts that over time has sent him into the exact same tailspin. And we've talked about it this week, which is why it's all kind of front of mind. And that is, then he is upset that we're renting, and we rented in Florida, so we don't have equity. Then he's upset that there's some money on the credit card, even though we pay a ton of it off every month. And he's upset that, you know, it's this snowball of all the things that are going wrong in our finances, which the overarching theme is we're almost out of money. You need to cut out every subscription. You need to not buy anything unless it's absolutely needed because we're broke. Okay, FYI, the Barkleys aren't broke. We're not almost broke. But in his mind, that's how his scarcity mindset works. If a little thing is off kilter, all of a sudden, this is the reaction. We need to not spend a dime. We should eat ramen noodles until this happens. Okay, guess what happens in Kristy Barkley's scarcity mindset when he starts saying we're broke and we don't have any money? Anybody want to guess? Kristy Barkley wants to go shopping and spend all the money that's left before she's out of money. Because you're telling me I'm about to not have any money? I need to go pick up some stuff before I don't have any money. Okay? Kristy Barkley's mind doesn't go, ooh, is this maybe not going to work out? She should save. No. Kristy Barkley says, I need to go buy 3 years worth of clothes for Andrew because he's growing like a weed. And I'm about to not have any money. Can anybody, so Nikki says too, I start stockpiling. Her husband does that, and then she starts stockpiling. It's because we have completely different mindsets around money. And they're both not healthy. And just so you know, I've gotten so much better at mine that I haven't bought through this tirade that's been going on for about 2 weeks, one thing off Amazon in 17 days now. 17 days, I haven't bought anything except for the groceries as needed. Just saying. But I did, Nikki, it's a lack of security issue for me also. I was raised not knowing if there would be milk in my fridge or not. Not knowing if I would have food to eat besides what was at the school or what my best friend's mom would bring over if she found out I was hungry. So you about to tell me I don't have any money. I'm about to go buy all the crap that I might need because you just told me I don't have any money. Okay. He gets a little anxious about money, and all of a sudden he says, we don't have any money. Okay. So recognize where you are and where your loved one is, because it can change so much. We've been working through this for a couple weeks, and all of a sudden, 2 days ago was when I recognized how I react to his reactions. And yesterday I was able to say, you know how you've been saying all this stuff? Just so you know, this is how I react in my mind. And I'm going to count it as a big fat win that I didn't buy anything. And I want you to recognize, because here's what, is that better? Here's what we used to fight about all the time. He would do this. This is not a new Rob Barker thing. He would do this, and I'd go shop. And guess what he says? You didn't listen to me at all? You don't understand that we're about out of money? You don't respect our family? You don't care if we're going to go broke? I didn't realize that's what I was doing. I was protecting myself. And now all of a sudden I'm like, oh, so recognize where you are in the money spectrum so that you can live a happier, healthier life. My in-laws, I don't know how much money they have. I don't know how many homes they own. It's all a lot. Do you know what they've never done? Taken us and our grandkids or their grandkids on a trip. My dad, he doesn't have, he's fine, but he doesn't have near what Rob's parents have. Do you know what they do every year? Did you guys see the trip we took to Park City? Thanks, Dad. Did you guys see those pictures? Snowmobiling, skiing, huge house. Do you know how much I paid when I took the 7 of us? He asked me to contribute $4,000. That trip cost a lot more than $4,000. I gave him a check for $4,000 and bought our plane tickets. He paid way more because, you know, my in-laws always say, we don't want to spend your inheritance, except for you're missing all the experiences. So there's got to be a balance, is my point. Does anybody have any thoughts or think? I'm not saying go buy all the crap. I'm just saying have a little fun, have some dreams, do those dreams, create your live list, and fit them into your budget without going broke. Don't nobody need to be broke. I've been broke a lot. I'm the waitress that just picked up more shifts because I spent my electric bill money on shoes. How's that, girl? Okay, so let's talk about the struggle mindset when it comes to money. The reason we're working so much on this is because money tends to be what blocks all of you from dreaming bigger, whether you recognize it or not. So if we can get rid of it and if we can understand what that block looks like and how it manifests in your subconscious, and we can move it, we can move into a healthier dreaming space. So struggle mindset. I need to work hard to get money. No matter how hard I work, I don't have enough. Money's hard to come by. Money's for paying bills. There will always be more bills than money. Let me just tell you, if you think any of these things, you will not ever have an abundant life. Because you have convinced yourself, no matter how hard you work, you're not going to have enough money. Your brain believes that thought. If this is the way you think, your brain believes it and makes it true. Do you know how many people I've coached that live paycheck to paycheck? And I ask them, how long you've been living paycheck to paycheck? And they don't even know when they don't know a time when they didn't live paycheck to paycheck. And so what gives? The only thing that can change is first your mind, and then accepting that you are worth having more abundance in your life. So I want you to write down, and I know we've been on this call for a long time, so write this down. You're going to work on this later, or you can write down some things now, but write down every fear and limiting belief and negative thought and stress about money. But I would like everybody to share one of theirs. So what you're going to do is you're going to have those, and then you're going to say out loud, you're going to write it out, write them all out, but I'd love for everybody to share one, for anybody that's willing. I release the belief that money blank. So for me, it was, I release the belief that money will make me unlovable. As ridiculous as that sounds, I was raised to believe that if I had more education and more money than those in my family, that nobody would like me anymore. And so I have released the belief that money would make me unlovable. Is anybody willing to share a limiting belief around money that they're willing, anybody willing to share that?
Kristy, I'm not sure that I have like a limiting belief about money and me, other than the limiting belief that I just can't get money. Money is blocked from coming to me.
So,
Belief.
so you would want to, I release the belief that money is not coming to me. Or I release the belief that I am not worth an abundance of money. Is that helpful?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Anybody else maybe is struggling? Like, I appreciate you, Debbie, so much for jumping on and saying you didn't know what to say. If anybody else has a thought that they're willing to share, but they need help with creating a phrase, you don't even have to have your video on. You can just unmute and share, or type it in the chat and I can help.
Mine is I release the belief that our debt will never be gone.
Perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a good one, Marquet.
that is so good. Say it again for the people that missed it because they were writing their own, Marquet. Can you say that again?
Yep, I said I release the belief that our debt will never be gone.
Perfect.
Hey, Deanna, why the face?
She's trying to unmute herself.
Yeah,
And she can't see because we're old and our eyes are like,
it's like, it's this. Even though I have progressive lenses on, I have the all three. So I can see, but I still make the face.
I like
habit.
It's that face. And it's sunny, and I'm not used to having so much sunshine outside because we're having snow this week again.
Yay. Do you have a belief you want to release?
Yeah, I was when you were saying that part, you said the unlovable, but mine, a lot of money makes me unrelatable. Like, who can even imagine or think of, or that it makes it so that somebody, that you're not relatable, therefore not friendly or worthy of friendship, or that.
That's really huge.
That's a huge one.
That's huge. So I release the belief that because I have an abundance, I'm unrelatable and people won't want to be friends with me. How's that feel?
It feels really good to have the release part of it.
Yeah.
Hanging on to that, that's heavy.
I've been hanging on
So,
to that for a long time.
mhm.
Thank you for sharing that. Nikki said, I release the belief that money would make me irresponsible, selfish, or greedy. A lot of people have that, Nikki. I've coached a lot of people now, and a lot of people have that. And I feel like that falls a little in line with Deanna in being the unrelatable. Like, if people knew what Deanna had, they might think that she is selfish or greedy, unfriendly, except for she's the opposite of all of those things, right? She's the exact opposite of everything. But releasing, here's a big thing, Nikki, is being able to release. I release other people's opinions about what's in my bank account. I release the judgment of others dependent based on what's in my bank account. Okay. Anybody else have a thought or something they'd like to share or release with us? A lot of it comes down to the feeling of judgment. Okay. And worrying about what people will think of us. All right. And that was huge for me to overcome. And it was such a transformation for me that Sarah Centrella actually did a podcast with me about that. So if anybody wants the link to that, I can send it to you. But once I was able to release what the judgment of what I thought other people were thinking about me, if I had money, is when literally the next week, money just started coming from places we didn't expect or make any changes in order to get. Does anybody else have something they want to share? Okay, Jody, I'll send the link. Anybody else? So what you're going to do, you're going to spend some time working on that. And then you're going to tear it all up. Tear it, burn it, whatever. You're going to legit release the thoughts. Okay. Here's something, an activity you'll do that will help you recognize more thoughts that you have. Here's some ways to remove money blocks that were really huge for me. Stop talking about money. Stop talking about a lot of money, a lack of money, mostly in your home. Something that worked huge in our house, because Rob would like to talk about the lack of money every day, whether we got a crap ton of money or not very much money. And you know, Deanna's now showed her face on this. So she's been around since we had no money, had some money, had no money, like how are we going to buy groceries, and then lots of money, and then in between money. And here's the thing, no matter what we have, my husband likes to talk about we don't have enough. And so we now only talk about money on Saturdays in the morning. He gets to do Quicken and the budget and all the things and ask me all the questions about every Amazon purchase and anything from Target on Saturday mornings. I'm prepared for it then. I am not prepared for it Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. when I'm exhausted and cooking dinner. You want to talk to me about what I bought on Amazon last Thursday when I'm trying to cook dinner and Andrew's not doing his homework? We're going to fight. I'm not prepared for it. On Saturday mornings, I'm ready to talk about it. We can have a good conversation about it. So he's also not allowed to say, and we got to practice this. I'm actually going to go through this with him again because Sarah gave us this thing. She said I had to ask him never to say we're out of money. He used to do it as a joke when he was balancing the checkbook. Whether we had money or didn't money, he'd be like, we're out of money. Stop spending money. And I'd be in another room and he'd be yelling that. And then he'd laugh to make it sound like a joke, but really that's what he thought. He wasn't allowed to say that anymore. He was speaking lack into what we had and giving that life. So he was not allowed ever to say, we're out of money again. Separate your dream from the money. Okay? Dream without Googling what it would cost to do that, without imagining what it would cost to do that. Okay? I was amazed when I started writing down the places I wanted to travel when I looked at how much it would cost to stay there on Airbnb. Okay. I'd be lying if the cost of traveling and staying in Greece was not the reason we didn't go there. Too bad COVID hit once I realized it only cost like $35 a night to stay in Greece in a little Airbnb. Now I got to wait for COVID, whatever. But most people don't travel to cool places because they think it's too expensive. I want you to dream without worrying about the money. I want you to change your thinking and rewrite your money story. We're going to talk about 5 power money mottos, and you're going to have a guided meditation practice. So your power money mottos, those would be things like, hold on, I've got notes. I want you to write money is. Here's something I want you to do by rewriting your money story. I want you to write 20 times or until you can't write anymore. Money is. So money is bad. Money is all consuming. Money is not Christ-like. Money is unnecessary. Money will never come to me. Those are some examples. Just free write. Don't overthink it. Don't be politically correct. Nobody's going to see this but you. But write money is and all the different things that it means to you. And then what you're going to do is once you have all the negative things, I want you to look at the negative things and create a line down the middle and rewrite that. So if you have a thought that good Christians don't have a lot of money, then you're going to say good Christians can do amazing things with a lot of money. We are legitimately changing the story in your mind, that the beliefs that you have around money. If you think money will make me unlovable, you can say, I'm able to serve and love people more when I have more money. I want you to spin the things and change the story in your head that you have around money. If you know money is a regular negative thing, I want you to identify if you constantly have chatter around money or lack of money or not being worth a lot of money, that chatter in your head, give that person a name. You probably know where it's coming from. Mine came from my mom. Whenever I would think of wanting something or buying something, a negative thought would pop into my head that was literally like her voice telling me why that was bad. And then I had to go, okay, Aunt Mare, what do you think about that? And she was always pushed my dreams and helped me come up with great things and gave me permission to dream big, for a lack of better words. Okay, so I want you to identify that negative voice, and when you hear it, shut it down. Okay, and then you're going to come up with 5 power mottos, money mottos, that will directly address the belief you want to change and make you feel powerful when you claim it. So if you have a belief that money is bad, here is a power motto that might work for you. Money brings me freedom and flexibility. It empowers me to do what I want, when I want. It enables me to be generous and live life on my terms. Deanna's husband has a great saying, and I may screw it up and she may have to jump on here, but it's something along the lines of, it's not a real problem if money can solve it. Hear that again. It's not a real problem if money can solve it. So if you have no money in the bank and you don't have health insurance and your kid breaks his arm and you have to go to the emergency room, that's a problem. You know why that's a problem? Because you don't have the money for the ER bill. You don't have money for the orthopedic to put a cast on it. You have to do all those things, but you're going to go into crazy debt to do them. That's a problem. If you had health insurance and if you had the full deductible in your bank right now, that's not a problem. Your kid broke their arm. It sucks. It's going to get fixed and it's not a problem. You move on tomorrow without any worry or stress. Can you see that? Okay, so having an abundance and having a good savings and having protection often makes things that feel like a problem to you, not a problem. You blow out a tire. If you got no money in the bank, it's a problem. If you've got a spare $1,000 in the bank and you need to spend $300 on a new tire, not a problem. Can you feel the difference in that? I also want to share with you a guided meditation practice. You can go onto YouTube and do a search for abundance meditation or abundance mindset meditation. I spent a solid year, and I should start doing it again, falling asleep to these. It's just somebody talking to me about abundance in a very calm voice that I fall asleep to, and then your mind hears it. And you can also wake up to these. It's training your brain to believe that you are worthy of abundance. Does anybody have any thoughts or questions before we go to, man, I've been talking to you guys for a long time. I need to hurry up. Before we go to the next couple blocks. The reason I'm digging deep into blocks is because if you can identify the block, you can remove it and you can dream bigger. Any thoughts?
I think it's really cool too, like as you were talking about the money in a negative way, I had a lot of those, like a lot of those.
Mm-hmm.
And even my positive ones, I like prefaced with the negative of it.
Mm-hmm.
And going through it, I'm like, money is awesome. Money is freeing. Money is like, I don't have those anymore.
So proof that it works.
Yeah.
Because we worked really hard on it. You worked really, I gave you some advice and then you worked really hard to change them.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I'm just saying it works, guys.
It works.
But
so you do the work. I want you guys to think and maybe jot down something amazing that you've done, which didn't cost you anything. Something you've received that didn't cost you anything. Start to recognize that awesome things can happen without you even spending any money. Okay. Any other thoughts? Let's see. Okay. So we're going to go into, we talked about rewriting your money story. We talked about meditation practice. Here are some good wealth building mottos if anybody needs them. Again, I'm recording this and I can actually send you the PowerPoint too, if you guys want, or take a screenshot of these good wealth building mottos. And I'm not worthy mindset. Let's go through this pretty quick. This is the thought pattern of you're not worthy of wealth or success. Others are more capable or deserving of you. You might disappoint someone. You're afraid of success. You aren't good enough. You're just not ready yet. And it's too good to be true. Okay. A lot of people have issues with this, and it usually appears as procrastination. Like you're just not ready. You're not ready to do that. So you do other things. Repeating old destructive behaviors when things are going good. So that's because you're in a box and you don't feel like you're worthy of having this greatness. And so when you get close to it, you back down, or you don't feel good, or, you know, you believe what negative things that other people say, or you believe judgments that other people have, except for you don't really know what they think. You made it up in your head. And you may have excuses of why you're not doing things. It can also show up as fear, like this is just not right for me. It's not the right time. Someone else can do it better, or what if I fail? It can show up as doubt, which is it's probably too good to be true. I can't. Always waiting for the other shoe to drop. Nothing good ever happens to me, or people like me don't get that kind of stuff. Who, you could share in the chat, who is guilty of when something good starts going, believing that something bad is going to happen? Like it's going well. Marquet raises her hands. It's going well. So it can't possibly keep going. Right? Anybody else? Let's see.
That's one thing that happens on our ranch is we build all these really good things going, and then all of a sudden something that's out of our control will come along, and I'm left holding the bag, and I'm the one that has to put out the money to fix it all. And so that's one thing that we struggle with. And so on the release of the money, it's releasing that I don't deserve abundance, and releasing that when I do make more money, all these bad things are going to happen.
That's really good. How often does that happen, where things get going good and then things out of your control happen on the ranch?
Well, the last 4 years, about every 6 months, there's something major that cost me like anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000 that we weren't expecting. So we have not had a profit in the last few years. So this year is going to be our first year with profit. So we're excited.
Perfect. How close are you to that 6-month mark again? Since the last time something bad happened?
Probably about 4 months.
Do you find yourself worrying that something else is coming? You just don't know what it is yet?
Oh yeah, waiting for that shoe to drop.
Okay, so you're going to release that. And you are going to step into the belief and knowledge that this farm will turn a profit. And bad things won't come up. If anything occurs at the farm, we're prepared for it. And we will still turn a profit. Okay?
Yes.
Anybody else have any thoughts? It also will look like low self-confidence for some people, meaning no one will take me seriously. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve it. Everyone's talking about me and waiting for me to fail. Let me stop right there. Nobody's talking about you. They're so worried about what they think other people are thinking about them that they don't have time to think about you. You know who's thinking about you? Probably your spouse, maybe your mama. Dads are too busy. Like, you know, when my husband starts thinking about the kids, when I bring up things that he needs to do for, with, or by for the kids. Otherwise, he is honed in on work. Your mama and your spouse. They're talking about you, all right? Maybe your best friend, but they're talking to you about you. Marquet's got something to say to me. Guess what? She be texting me. She's not first telling Crystalline, who then tells Tiffany, who's got to tell Deanna, who's got to tell me I got a problem. Marquet's just going to call Kristy. Okay? Here's one of my favorite things. If you have a problem with me, but you don't even know my phone number to call me to discuss about it, you don't know me well enough to have a problem with anything I'm doing. Let that sink in. And if you're worried about what people think and they don't even have your phone number to call and chat with you about it, stop caring what they think. Other low confidence signals that you feel like you don't know enough, you don't have enough experience, or you're always trying to prove your worth. Y'all, just be you. You are awesome just the way you are today. You're awesome just the way you are today. God will give you what you need to succeed tomorrow. Today, you already have what you need to succeed in today. And if you need more to succeed further tomorrow, he will give that to you. Okay? So I want you to, if you feel like you have an unworthy mindset, again, I'm going fast, I want you to recognize the thought when it pops up, the unworthy thought, those that we've talked about, without emotional attachment. Meaning, if that thought pops up, be like whack-a-mole and pop it down. Don't hold on to it, because that is just, it's the devil. It's the devil working against your opportunity to succeed. I want you to decide if that thought is something that you want to come true. If not, turn it around, rephrase it, spin it. Do not engage in that thought. Change the subject with your brain. Like if money issues come up in my head, or a fear of money, or a fear I'm not going to make enough, you know what I do? Hold on, brain. We'll talk about that on Saturday morning. And I move on to something else, like the worst question ever. What's for dinner? Right? If I'm worried about what's for dinner, I can't be worried about being broke. I'm going to worry about being broke on Saturday morning. Okay? Write everything that you're worthy of, everything you want, and everything you deserve. Write it down. Write down what you are worthy of. Low-key martyr beliefs, we're not going to hardly spend any time on. I don't know a lot of people that have these issues. I think it's kind of generalized with moms. And most people that have these won't admit them. Okay? But they often will be heard saying, I don't need anything big or fancy. My dreams are simple and I'm fine with that. That fancy stuff is not for me, or living an abundant life is sinful. All right? Okay. So your dreams are simple and you're fine with that. Let me ask you this. Is anybody on this call where if I sent out an invite today to my private jet is going to pick you up next Saturday and take you on a yacht in the Mediterranean for a week, and you don't have to pay for anything? Is anybody not going to accept that? Is there anybody that's not going to find a freaking babysitter and tell their husband they're out for a week? Is there anybody that doesn't want to go on that trip with me? It's free. Who's coming?
For sure. Remember that one time you offered to buy me a house and I said, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would totally go on your yacht now.
Okay.
So,
So she generally was like, no, thank you. I'm okay with the house that I have. I mean, people, because she felt like, she said this already, she felt like people were already judging her for having a big house. It's not bigger, it's taller. Yeah. It was an illusion. It was an illusion. Some of you are afraid to dream of things, but if somebody handed it to you, you're not going to say no. Okay? Allow yourself the pleasure of dreaming. So a lot of low-key martyrs will have these beliefs buried in them. They're afraid they really do want it. And then they're afraid people will judge them for wanting it. And then they're afraid wanting it makes them selfish or bad. They're afraid someone in their life will not approve of them wanting more. They're afraid to be disappointed. And they think wanting it will mean they aren't grateful for what they have. Let me tell you this, there is a sign above my bed that I read every day that said God would not have put a dream in your heart if he hadn't given you everything you needed to fulfill it. God puts these dreams in your heart. The devil, think about it, the devil is not putting big dreams in your heart. That's not the way he works. So if a big dream has gone on your heart, it came from God. Please believe me on that. So don't turn to God and be like, thanks for this awesome dream, but no thanks. No thanks, God. I'm okay. Go give that big dream to somebody else. I'm good. Hey, don't be that person. All right? Take God's big dream and run with it. Run with it. Okay. Here's the $1 million question. 5 years in the future, what's your life going to look like? What is work like? Who's in this new dream life with you? What brings you joy? How do you spend your money? How has financial abundance changed your life? Take a screenshot of this slide because you're going to have to do this later because we're out of time. And we still have way more slides. How do you spend your money? How has financial abundance changed your life? What can you do in this new life that you couldn't do today? All right, this is where you're going to start dreaming. Y'all, the reason we're doing so much work, you thought you jumped on here to build a future board. If we don't do this work first, you won't actually have a future board. You will not actually dreaming of a future board. But now we are. So write this down. You're going to go on Pinterest and you're going to start building your future board. Here are your areas. Relationships, like who's in your dream life? Let's talk friends, family, spouse, career and ambitions. What's the ultimate success for your career? I'd like to speak on stage at convention. Okay, what does yours look like? I would like to write a book and it be published. What does yours look like? Mind and body. What's the best version of you? I need to lose 10 pounds. I say that, but I'm super strong the way I am. I would like to lose 10 pounds. I feel like that's the best version. What's the best version of you? Passion and joys. What do you love to do? I love to read. I love to go on walks. I love to work out with friends. Those things make me happy. Wealth and abundance. What does ultimate financial success look like to you? In your wealth and abundance board, like money is not a thing. It's not a thing. You want that ginormous, huge, diamond ring, that can go. That when you never have to look at a price tag ever or explain something to your husband about why you bought it, that's huge abundance. Okay. We're going to work on experience over things on your future board. We're going to find the right pictures because now we know exactly what kind of life you want. Okay. We've done the work. I've given you the skills to do the work so that you can find the exact right pictures. And it's a holistic look at your life. Remember that bicycle wheel analogy I gave you? We're looking at all the different aspects of your life, and we want them to all be full of happiness. Here's something vision board people don't get. No quotes or words. You know why? Because there's no emotion in quotes or words. Like you may read it and be like, yeah, I need to do that. But can you visualize yourself inside of a quote? I've got a picture, like I said, it came true with some friends on the front of a yacht going down the water. If I put on my board, yacht with friends, or yachting is cool, I can't visualize myself with that, but that I could pull it down now. Again, we're running out of time and show you a picture that we took almost just like that. Didn't cost me anything. Okay, so no quotes, no words, no money, because it's not about the money, it's about what experiences you would have when you have the money. You're going to build it on Pinterest. You're going to have 7 boards for this. Again, the 5 I already listed. Then you're going to have a live list. Remember, you guys are going to be working on your live list. You're going to pull pictures from Pinterest and add them to your live list board on Pinterest. And then you're going to have your master future board. So I have all 7 of these and no limits. Go on Pinterest and start doing searches for things that fit into things that you're thinking would be awesome for your life, and just keep adding them. So relationships, there's a picture of a couple walking down a white sidewalk in the Mediterranean, like with the beautiful blue sea behind them. I would like to do that with my husband. That's a relationship experience. I have things I'd like to do with girlfriends. I want to earn, I've earned the trip to Mexico, but I want a lot of friends there with me. So I have a picture of girls on the beach in cute sundresses. To me, I see that and I visualize that's me and my team and my friends on the Emerald Extravaganza. Okay, so pulling pictures of things that you want that look where you can look at it and you can see it. Like Marquet mentioned earlier, I have a housekeeper on my board. I have a chef on my board. I have a cute family getting on a private jet on my board. Just some examples. So when you're working on passion and joys, throw as many pictures as you want in there, because then what you'll do is you'll go back and look at that board and you'll see what really hits home. Like, it might have been cool when you put it on there, but it's not the one that actually transports you to that dream. And when you see a picture that does transport you to that dream, add that to your master future board on Pinterest. Your master future board on Pinterest pictures, those are the one that you're going to print and put on an actual board. Why do you actually need a board hung up? First of all, the universe responds to action. It respects that you're taking time to make your board. When you are working on things and taking action, the universe acknowledges that and sees that it's important to you. It takes thought and planning, and you have to print and arrange the pictures on your board. The universe acknowledges all that, and it lets the universe know that these things are important to you. It also responds to your energy. If you were thinking about your dreams and your future life, you have hope, excitement, clarity, vision, and belief. That tells the universe you want these things to come true, and it tells your brain, I want these things. So here's the thing. If you tell your brain that you want something or speak life to it in an affirmation, it does everything it can to make it come true. It's the way your brain works. Your brain is constantly looking to answer the questions or fulfill things that are in your brain. It seals the deal. When you look at the pictures, the movie in your head begins to play, and it keeps you focused. Okay? When you see it up, it stimulates your dreams, belief, hustle, vision, and hopes for your future, you guys. It truly does keep you focused on why you're doing what you do. Everybody that's left on this call right now is in network marketing, and some also in other professions. When you don't want to reach out to somebody about your product or about your business, and then you look up and you see the vision of what's possible and what you're dreaming of, it will inspire you to send one more message, to make one more phone call. It will remind you of why you're doing what you do. It's your desire. Your desire is clear. Okay, so you've built your board. Now what? I want you to get obsessed. I want you to look at it every day. I want you to think about something that you've done that you're super proud of. Okay, probably one of my proudest moments is the first time I ran a full marathon. I had to become obsessed with training. I couldn't miss any training runs. I definitely couldn't miss my long runs. It was 6 months of training. I bartended at the time, and people would be like, how many miles did you run today? Like my guests. What'd you run today? You know, I was obsessed with my training. I talked about it. I prepared for it. I ate for it, and I did it. If you can get obsessed about a specific dream of yours, it'll come true, because you'll pull out all the stops to make it happen. How can you be obsessed? Sights, sounds, read. So watching movies. If you want to travel to a certain place, watch movies that are set there. Listen to books that are set there. Listen to audibles, listen to music. If you want to go to Italy, listen to Italian music. Like, become obsessed with it. Read books that are placed there or travel guides. Write. Y'all write down your goals and your dreams. Journal about it. Your surroundings. You know, surround yourself with things that remind you of what you're working towards. And have a good crew. Y'all, the people that you allow to be around you change everything. I want you to have a crew that supports you in your dreams and your passions. Your crew is everything. My crew, You guys, my team light me on fire. They are the reason I want to keep growing. The fact that my husband wants me to make more money, all right, that doesn't set my heart on fire. Team calls every day with my team, that sets me on fire. That's my crew. Who is your crew? All right. So what kind of hustle can you do to reach the dreams that we've worked hard on you starting to uncover? You guys are going to have to do a lot of work after this, okay, on the things that we talked about. Again, if you want the PowerPoint slide, I can send it to you so that you can go through it and spend more time on each category. But I want you to actually take action towards your dreams. Not all of them. I got 30 dreams on my board. But if you have a couple that you focus on and get obsessed with and work towards them, what can you do this week to get closer to your dreams? Have a daily to-do list. Like, what 3 things can you do tomorrow that are going to move you closer to your dreams? Go above and beyond. If you think you should reach out to 3 people tomorrow about what you do that'll help you earn more income, that'll help you reach some of your dreams, and you think you need to reach out to 3, how about go above and beyond and do 5? 2 more. Work on it every day. Now, some days you're going to be exhausted. So you know what hustling sometimes looks like for me? Watching a movie or a reality show. Or reading a book that's set there. Hustling doesn't mean that I got to reach out to 10 more people today. Although it could mean that. Some days I'm exhausted and it means watching a movie or a reality show that sets my heart on fire again so that tomorrow I can reach out to 10 people. Get creative. Try new things. If it doesn't work, try something else and be willing to start from scratch, y'all. Wherever you are today, start there. And know that if you're a little afraid, that's normal. I want you to go all in and know what you're working towards. All this stuff that I've talked about previously, that's to help you know and figure out what you're working towards. If you don't know what you're working towards, you're not going to work very hard. Okay? If you just want to make an extra $100, but you don't know what you would do with that extra $100, you're probably not going to earn that $100. I want to know exactly what you're going to do with your extra $100 this month. That's going to make you work harder. Give yourself the option to chill out. Remove the option to quit, but allow yourself to rest. Know that it's in the work and not in the timing. Okay? There are a lot of people in my company that reached the top years before me, and I still haven't reached the top. I still got 2 more levels to go before I reach the top. There are people that do it in a year. I just hit my 6-year mark. Y'all, I'm okay. I made a crap ton of money this month. I'm not going to be mad that I'm not making as much as them. My journey is different than them. I know that I'm working every day and I can't control the timing, but I can control my work. Take a break when you need to. Meditate each night over abundance. Recognize the lessons in the journey. Tweak the process if something's not working, and be relentless in the pursuit of your dreams. Be patient. Listen, every day you're getting closer and ready for your dream to happen. Don't sit back on your couch and wait for the UPS guy to deliver your invite to the Mediterranean. Y'all, work towards something each day. Spend every day getting ready in some way, whether it's learning the language or watching a movie or staring at your dream board or talking to somebody about why it's important to you. Study your craft. If you feel like you're not great at what you need to be great at, you know, people tell me all the time, you're so great on lives. Y'all, I've been going live since Bob Heilig told me to 4 years ago. I sucked. I'm good at what Rob calls go lives now because I go live all the time. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. I'm always comfortable. Sometimes I bring value, sometimes I don't. Okay? But I go live. If you're super uncomfortable with going live, you need to go live to grow your business. So figure out how to do it and just start doing it, even though you might suck at first. Get your life in order. If you're surrounded by clutter, it's going to be hard to get things done. Each Sunday or Saturday, clean your desk, clean your surroundings, tidy up, and get ready to do it again. And you guys, don't lose the faith. Shut out fear, shut out doubt. Always have hope. Daily write down what you're grateful for, what you're working towards. Say your affirmations and be patient because it's coming. And then recognize when it starts to come up. Okay? They're going to show up. Little manifestations. I call them like little God postcards. If you're working towards a dream and then all of a sudden you get like something on your Facebook or something in a magazine, or you hear an ad for something that is about that thing, that's God saying, I hear you. I hear you. Don't lose sight. It's coming. Okay? Keep working on it. People bring opportunities when you least expect it. They will do that if you're letting the universe know what you're working on and what you want. Write down all your dreams and then flush them out. Like I said, and like Marquez said, we can look at our future boards that we made a year ago, 2 years ago, and be like, I don't really want that anymore. Or I still really want that. If it's not setting your heart on fire, it popped up, let it go. Work towards things that set your heart on fire. The right things are going to stick. Things will come to you in ways that you least imagine it. Being in the right place at the right time. If you're at an event with your kids, don't hide in the corner. Make friends. You never know what friend is going to love what you do. And here's my other thing. Every time something like that happens, you know what I do? Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Acknowledging that the universe sees you. Okay? Because you will start to manifest things. Everybody I've worked with does. And the more you acknowledge it, the more they will come. More manifestations will come. It's a little bit crazy. And here, that's the end. I didn't delete the last slides. Okay, sorry, I took forever. I hope it was valuable. Does anybody have thoughts, things, questions? Anything? Rulers, we like rulers too. Okay,